Are we headed for an economic upheaval, the likes of which we haven't seen for decades? Well, the Biden administration wants you to believe, of course, the economy is doing great. It's on the upswing, but the numbers don't lie. They're telling a different story. This week, we learned that some of the largest companies in America are laying off thousands of people, and especially.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory be to Yahweh. Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakha Kodash. And I want to say double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone and rule well. Blessings to the hopeful elect out there teaching this word in all sincerity and truth. And the hopes that we may edify and feed the lambs of Yahweh Shai, especially in these last days. And I was just, going through this video here from Redacted. And you had the man that you just heard speaking there was Clayton. And he was going into the job losses, that's happening in Babylon the Great, which is America, all right, and how a lot of people after the so-called Christmas period, a lot of people that were just hired temporarily have now lost their jobs, and now, people are going to start to get real desperate, and I just wanted to do a quick to the point video on this one because, I was thinking about a couple of things and, especially to do with this, because we are commanded to be watchmen, and we can see what's coming around the corner. We can see the shit about to hit the fan, and when people can't feed their families, what do you think they're going to be doing? They're going to be, they're going to be going buck wild crazy. They're going to be going back shit crazy basically. And that's all prophetic. That's all biblical prophecy. That the Lord's about to introduce a time to the earth that the likes of which the world has never seen. And that's in Daniel 12:1. All right, so we're definitely at the end. All right, all these job losses. Okay. Let me go ahead and get a quick scripture. Well, that's beautiful. That's perfect. Let me start with this one because I was going to get something else, but let me go ahead and read 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. All right, the day of the Lord, what's that going to entail? When Yahweh Shai comes back with the armies of heaven, the angels, following him upon them so-called UFOs, which be those white horses spoken of in Revelation 19. Yahweh Shai is going to come, and he's going to take vengeance. Okay, and he's going to put these nations down, especially Esau, because the Esau's ruling right now, the wicked. Scriptures tell you that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked. All right, and the reason for all these job losses and the reason for all these debt-bearing notes that you have that people go wild for, people sell their souls for, doing anything for a buck out there on the streets, which is basically witchcraft because these debt-bearing notes, that's really not real wealth. The scriptures tell us, as we're gonna go into this video, you're gonna see, a guy called Kevin. I think his name's Kevin Demerit. All right, he has a particular company that deals within, buying and selling gold, silver, and basically precious metals. All right, and he's gonna go into how. Pretty much he's predicted that the price of gold, in the past, he predicted that the price of gold was going to go over $2,000 per ounce, and it has. And now he's predicting that it's going to go up even more. When you go into his website, in fact, let me just type him in. He's gonna jump in, the segment with Clayton as well. He's going to talk about a few things. Kevin Demerit. All right, but he even said, Kevin Demerit, Lear Capital founder. So he's the founder of the company known as Lear Capital. Okay, who is Kevin Demerit? Co-founder and president of Worldshare Finance Partners. In 1997, he founded Lear Capital, one of the nation's largest precious metals companies. All right, and the apostles and the elders, they told us already that the price of gold and silver was going to go up. Okay, which we believe through the spirit, the price of gold and silver is being heavily manipulated. And pretty much, these debt-bearing notes, these fiat currencies, which the word fiat, means let it be so. All right. And it doesn't really hold really any weight. Okay. Especially since I think you had the Nixon shock was in the 70s, where the gold standard was removed, from the American dollar. Okay. So you can do that research for yourself. But pretty much the piece of paper that you have, all right, pieces of paper that people go crazy for actually really doesn't even have no value. Okay, it's a debt note. Okay, and this is what we're saying, man. These elite banking families, man, that print this money, that established the Federal Reserve. They called it the Federal Reserve, to make it sound like it was a corporation that was like a government based, which the word government means to control the mind, which we know that, but they called it that. Really, they wanted to call it the Aldrich Bill, I believe it was, but it was too bait, for it to be called the Aldrich Bill. When I say bait, it was like they needed to call it something like the Federal Reserve to make the people think that it's legit, like it's to do with the government and everything's going to be, fine and dandy. But really, it was the opportunity for them to be able to print money, and lend it out at interest, which is, that's pretty much a form of debt slavery that they've introduced to the world. Okay, and this is, let me go ahead and get Habakkuk chapter 2. And I'm going to start from verse 5, right? And it says, let me start from verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. So his soul that's lifted up in him is not upright, but the just shall live by faith. So we're going through faith, because ultimately Esau, they're going to crash this global economy, man. All right, you got the BRICS, establishing their, currency and that and whatever, and pretty much taking a stab at the dollar. American hegemony has gone down the toilet. The American dollar is about to suffer now more so than ever. It's circling the drain. Okay, and when that happens, you best believe they're gonna push out that chip, which is the mark of the beast spoken of in Revelation 13 and 16. Which what Johnny, Revelator on the Isle of Patmos, he saw people receiving that chip. All right, because remember, Esau works, by sleight of hand, deceit. That's why he's pushing out all these distractions with Cat Williams and exposing the industry and this and that and whatever. Meanwhile, these unrighteous decrees are being pushed. Meanwhile, there's war in the so-called Middle East happening. Meanwhile, the inflation's at an all-time high. Meanwhile, all these turmoils and things are happening. And just like, when Rome fell, or when Rome was falling, the pagan Roman Empire, you had the emperor, what was his name? Domitian. You had Titus, and then you had Domitian, which is the two sons of Vespasian. And I believe Titus, he constructed that Roman, was an amphitheater, like a massive ass Colosseum, and he declared 100 days of games. All right, because they just had civil war. All right, so in order to distract the people, they needed 100 days of games to keep the people distracted, and that's basically bread and circuses, and that's what we're having today. That's why you see these stupid ass, these boxers, the people worrying about Anthony Joshua fighting Francis Ngannou, and all these stupid YouTube celebrities fighting, these Jake Pauls, Logan Pauls, and these all these names, man, all these fucking GMO babies getting in the ring. It's all a distraction. Okay. It says, also because he transgresseth by wine, which is his democracy, his, philosophies, okay, his filth that he pushes through the world, throughout the earth, right? He is a proud man, right? Neither keepeth at home, who enlargeth his desire is hell, and is his death. So this is the earth. We're living in a time where if you don't believe that the earth has been given into the hand of the wicked, man, then you are asleep. All the confusion, the death, the turmoil. That's why the scripture says in Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right, and ain't no one rejoicing out here, man. People are mourning. Okay, because this man, he pushes out a vibration of death. All right, confusion. All right, things turned upside down. Destroying the the Israelite household, divide and conquer, get the man, pushing feminism. Now the woman is ahead of the man, all kinds of, polluting the food, polluting the air, and the list goes on and on about this devil, the clothes that you wear, mixed fabrics and Forever Chemicals. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And that, you can blame the elites for that. The DuPont family, non-stick frying pans, waterproof jackets. That's a vibration of death, man. Okay? That's a vibration of death. And you know what? He can't have enough. He says, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Now this is the point, right? Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Now when you go into this word thick clay, and this is why we have to go into these words, man, because, you get the true meaning of what's being said here. You've got to go into the Hebrew here, all right, which the Hebrew word for thick clay is ibat yat, all right? And as you can see, it says weight of pledges and heavy debts, all right? So Esau is responsible, for pretty much, printing this money, the elite banking families, if you will, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they're responsible for pushing out this system of heavy debt. Okay, and it's not going to last forever. Okay, it's not going to last forever. And this is the reason why now you're seeing a lot of people, crying and losing jobs and, because they can't, a lot of these big buildings, they can't afford to pay the lease. All right, they can't afford to keep these buildings filled. All right, because the banks ain't willing to lend out loans, big loans anymore. You got a lot of these bank closures. You got a lot of banks you seeing on the high street now, they're shutting down. What about the people that work for the banks? See, they're losing the jobs as well. All right. And not only the people that work for the banks, people that are, these banks that loan out money to these other businesses, they can't afford to keep up with their payments. All right. So they got to lay off their staff members and so on and so forth. All right. Which this video is going to go into that. Check this out.
Largest companies in America are laying off thousands of people. And especially in a sector that normally is swimming in money and doing very, very well. The tech sector, we're seeing Apple, Amazon, Google, and more laying off thousands of people. All eyes on a 2024 recession of
laying off thousands of people, man. And not only over here in Babylon the Great, over here in the UK as well. All right, let me get a scripture. You've got to get Ecclesiastes on that. Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. Okay, and it says, verse 3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. And who's the keepers of the house? That's Esau. This is his kingdom, all right? Starting with the elite banking families, right? Shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. The grinders represent the workers, okay? And that's why even when you say, got Jake be talking about how much they're on their grind. I'm on my grind, I'm grinding, Basically, I'm working. And those that look out of the windows be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. Okay. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Let me read verse 4 in the NLT. All right. New Living Translation. It says, remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed. You got people out there trying to make plans and opportunities, and they're coming in that spirit of the rich man that had that had a barn, that said he wanted to build barns because he had many goods. All right, and he went to go and build barns and that and whatever, and the Lord said unto him, look, thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required thee. All right, the parable of that rich man. Okay. And he said, look, I've got so much goods, I will build more. So he was looking for life's opportunities. And you got people in that spirit, right? Looking, for life's opportunities, man. That's why the scripture says, seek ye the Lord while he may be found, right? Because the scripture says, riches profiteth not in the day of wrath. So while you out there looking for life's opportunities, man, riches don't profit in the day of wrath. And the day of wrath is upon us. It's coming. All right? So remember him before the door to life's opportunities is closed. And the sound of work fades. The sound of work fades. All right. The grinders, man. The grinders cease because they are few. All right. Job layoffs.
People, all eyes on a 2024 recession. Of course, this is the time period we were most worried about. After Christmas, after those temporary hires had all left those jobs, we were talking about January and February. Experts were predicting this recession hitting right around this time. Are they correct? This could explain also why gold prices are surging to all-time highs. Uranium prices are surging to all-time highs. So commodities and precious metals, certainly something that are surging right now.
Right, so this is when he's going to bring in Kevin Demerit. I'm going to skip the whole introduction. I'm just going to jump to a certain point. Let's go to about here.
Right now, I mean, this is a disaster.
Well, it really is a disaster. Look, the values are low, so they go back to the banks when their loans are due, and the banks aren't willing to lend them the money back at the same values that they had 3, 4, 5 years ago. My building's a perfect example. We're 22% vacancy rate here. 22%. They model things out at 3%, 7%, 5%, things like that.
You hear what he just said? This guy, he founded his company in 1997. All right, so he's got experience, and he's saying, look, the building where I'm at, we got a 22% vacancy rate. All right? They got a 22% vacancy rate over there at Lear Capital, man. Okay. Vacancy. Okay. Vacancy, what? An unoccupied position or job. I didn't even know it was going to say that. Okay. A job. So the job losses, empty space. All right. So these banks, they don't want to lend out money to guys that pretty much have, or have occupied a building that has a 22% vacancy or empty space, unoccupied positions or jobs. All right. So pretty much we're seeing the grind is cease, man. Okay. The doors shall be shut in the streets, right?
Like that. Not 22%. The bank looks at it and says, hey, look, I can't make a loan when your building is 20% vacant. So if you look across California, I don't know about a lot of other places in the country, but you look in California, you look in New York, you look at some of the larger cities out there, it's a huge problem. And when those loans come due, how are they going to get the financing to continue with a piece of property? They have to give it up.
And and then people are going to lose it, man. We're looking at the worst recession that the world has ever seen, and this guy even goes in to say that, which you can watch the rest of this video for yourself. I just wanted to play a couple of points from this, and this is why we watch, man, because we can see that these plagues are hitting Babylon the Great. Okay, the Lord said he would smite Egypt with plagues as before. All right, so let's go back to in fact, before we go, let's get another one in Ecclesiastes. Let's go to Ecclesiastes 9 and is it 9 and 12? It says, for man also knoweth not his time, as the fishes that are taken in an evil net, and as the birds that are caught in a snare. Yeah, these people that are looking for life's opportunities, man, they don't even know their time. Just like the fishes that are caught in an evil net. And evil means a bad time, okay? Like you like a fish swimming in water. You think you got it good. You just swim in there. You got them gills open. You got them fins flapping around, and then all of a sudden there's an evil net that comes and swoops you out of that ocean right out your comfort zone, and now you flapping around now you flapping around among nothing but O2. But you used to be in H2O swimming around. And now you just there flapping because you can't breathe. I think you've hella uncomfortable. And that's how these people are going to be like fish out of water. They're going to be flapping around. They ain't going to know what to do, especially when Yahweh Shai comes back with the armies of heaven. All right, the scripture says, men's hearts shall fail them for fear. It says, and as the birds that are caught in the snare, right? Yeah, like birds, when they flap their wings, they're caught in a trap. They're trying to escape, and they just flapping. That's how people are going to be going crazy out here. We can see it, man. We can see all hell breaking loose out here. Because remember, when people got nothing to lose, they lose it, man. When their backs are against the wall. And these people go crazy for Black Friday. What about these people are going crazy now. Uproars of the people protesting. And I always say this, that's on full stomachs. That's when they can go home and have a hot meal. After they've gone, and protest, climate change or whatever the fuck. Extinction Rebellion or whatever. Which a lot of these protests, you got a lot of agent provocateurs in these crowds, and and a lot of them have been funded by Esau. All right, because remember, Esau wants chaos in them streets. That's Ordo ab chaos, man. Okay, he wants a riot. He wants a riotous condition, which ultimately this is the Lord's movie, man. This is the Lord's program. Man's goings are of the Lord. How then shall a man understand his own way? We always go to that scripture. All right, for all you free willers out there, you think you got free will. It says, so are the sons of men snared in an evil time when it falleth suddenly upon them. So it's going to come, man. You know, you're going to get snared in the evil time. That's why the scripture says, watch ye therefore as well as pray. Habakkuk 2:3 says the vision. Let's get that scripture real quick. Right? Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. You see that? And a vision is what? The prophets were known as seers, visionaries, man. Okay? And this is what it is. You know, these visions and these prophecies. And they're speaking, man, louder now, more so than ever. Okay? And this is why you're going to have people going crazy. Okay? 2nd Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Yeah, like that fish in water. And then that evil net comes and takes you out your comfort zone. And now what? Even then shall evils grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. People are hella confused at the moment. But a lot of people are hella distracted as well. You know, a lot of people don't even want to they know something's coming, but they don't even want to deal with it because it's too much for them. See, that's why the scripture says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability at thy times and strength for salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. That's Isaiah 33:6. We got the wisdom and knowledge to understand how bad things are going to get out here because it's linked with biblical prophecy. See, the word has to be mixed with faith. If you don't have faith in these prophecies, man, you are going to be out there completely defenseless and unstable. Okay, so let's read it again. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon the earth. See, right now, yeah, you can have a hot meal. Right now, you can still go to the store, buy this and that, even though the prices are shooting through the roof. Okay, that they shall think themselves to be in good case. Yeah, you distracted, bread and circuses. Okay, what are the people going to do when all, I don't know, 500,000 people in one day loses their jobs, or within the space of a year, globally, like 1 billion people can't work, and now you got the rise of AI taking people's jobs as well. Come on, man. And that's another article that I wanted to go into. All right. And over here in the UK, I typed in job losses in the UK and I just clicked that. You see the news tab at the top of the screen. And as you scroll down, look, 19 hours ago, the Financial Times, workers at Welsh steel plant brace for widespread job losses. Okay. Tata Steel workers brace for bad news on job losses. 4 hours ago, The Independent, Travis Perkins reveal year-end job losses and signals further staff cuts. Travis Perkins, all these different companies. 2 hours ago, Google CEO warns staff to expect more job cuts. The Guardian, 1 month ago, UK employers limit the hiring of permanent staff amid economic stresses. All right. Which the word economy goes back to house management. What did we say? We read in Ecclesiastes 12:3, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. All right, so these global economists, if you will, Esau likes to, call himself a philanthropist, and and all of this and whatever. Okay, look at that word philanthropist, even my man Prince, he said that we're heading into a state of entropy. All right, entropy, and I look up that word as well. All right, Esau likes to go like he's he's philanthropic, right? Seeking to promote the welfare of others. All right, generous and benevolent. Well, there's nothing generous and promoting the welfare of others when you're taking peace, when you're set up to take peace from the earth. There's nothing philanthropic about that. So this man is a hypocrite, man. Okay, and Esau's creating these AI, and ultimately, you will own nothing and you will be happy, right? That's what they're pushing towards. Their NWO. You will own nothing and you will be happy. I don't know why that word entropy came into my mind. Let's get like entropy or entropy. I remember Prince said it to who did he have an interview with? Was it Larry King? All right. Entropy, a thermodynamic quantity representing the unavailability of a system's thermal energy for conversion into mechanical work, often interpreted as the degree of disorder and randomness in the system. Lack of order or predictability, gradual decline into disorder. We're heading into a state of entropy, man, which we're already there. The scriptures clarified that, the sword, famine, and great confusion. All right, a state of entropy. That's exactly what we've entered. We've entered into a time of entropy. All right, and I remember Prince, he said that, and I believe it was Larry King that interviewed him. Okay, Prince interview with Larry King. All right, let's see if it. This is the one. All right, Prince Rogers Nelson, entire 1919 CNN interview, Larry King live, and this, I believe this is where he told him we're entered into a state of entropy. Okay. Let me see if we can let me see if we can get that quote as well. Prince says to Larry King, state of entropy. Oh, man. And into entropy. It might not come up here. It might not come up here. It might not come up here. You might have to just go into it for yourself. In fact, let me pause this and see if I can get the actual. Yeah, I couldn't really find it. I had
searched deep within.
You know, but you can, if you watch that interview, you'll be able to find it. I'm sure, man. But I remember Prince actually told Larry King that on that interview, man. You know, I believe it was that interview. If it was another interview and I'm mistaken, Salakia for that. But I believe he did say it in an actual interview. And I believe it was this interview. You know, and Lord willing, if I find the actual clip of that, I'll actually do another video, a separate video on that actual point. Okay. So anyway, there you go, man. I'm going to leave it there. Yeah, Lord willing, this was an edifying video. You know, the vision is for an appointed time, right? And that's what it is. You know, we're heading into that time. You know, we're heading into that time of great confusion for these people out here, you know. And the Lord said that the same must know it after death by pain. That's why the scriptures called, well, many are called, but few are chosen, man. This is only, see, the Lord is only having us out there teaching this word, you know, to edify and feed the flock, you know, the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay, because the election have obtained it and the rest were blinded. Romans 11:7. Okay, so yeah, I pray this was edifying, you know, to the next time. Shalom.